This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash.
Merry Christmas, everybody. I am Mitch English.
I'm Andrea Jackson.
I'm Matt Doolittle.
Hey,
Merry Christmas.
And we are, of course, on Christmas Day, hanging out in the Daily Flash kitchen all morning long. I was looking over some trivia and some facts about Christmas. We can thank Prince Albert, actually, for our Christmas tree.
Really? How so?
So back in 1848, he gave his wife, Queen Victoria of England, a tree at Christmas time, and they were like, oh, that's cool, we'll do it. You know, and then everybody
Then it just took off like that?
Just took off, yeah. So
How romantic. Here, darling, here's a tree.
here's a tree, you can put presents underneath it. So, and then he went off into a can somewhere, and Prince Albert in a can.
Prince Albert in a can.
I think that's okay.
The rolled tobacco?
Yeah, he's rolled up tobacco afterwards. The guy was in basically a can his entire life. So there you go, a little trivia there. Our Christmas tree, we get, normally we chop down. This year we went to just one of the lots and
did.
got our, it was still fun. Though.
Yeah.
You know, pick it out.
How about you, Matt?
We had a plastic one forever, and I hated it. Because every year, it was one of those where every strand went in by itself, and you had to pull the branches
yeah.
out.
You had to make it
I'm
look
like,
right.
I hate this thing.
Yeah.
We finally threw it out.
You did. We did that. We've done the natural tree, which is great, but it can be messy. There's pros and cons to both, right?
100%, yeah.
And then a few years ago, I found a smoking deal on a big tree at Home Depot, and that's been our go-to tree. It's tough to store because it's so big.
When you put those things in, like you were talking about, were they colored at the end? Like,
Yes.
okay, but after years and years, that paint at the bottom of it always messed up, and you didn't know which one it is. You're like, you know, but you could tell the length of it. And that's about it, right?
Your hands were always dry at the end, and I would have to do most of the work because by the top, my mom couldn't do it because my dad would be at work, so I'd have to do all the. I hated that.
Matt on the ladder, so no more fake trees for Matt. Okay.
But if you are gathered around the Christmas tree and with the TV, we're going to set you up with a good day for sure to get you going.
A New York family is in the Guinness World Record books for the most lights on a home, and they just revealed that this year's Christmas display is their biggest yet, but many of their neighbors are not amused. The latest holiday display features more than 720,000 lights. However, some neighbors are not seeing the joy or feeling the light. They say the lights attract long lines of cars and people who trample through yards and leave trash behind. Law enforcement has also expressed concern about getting access to the homes on the street in case of an emergency with all the traffic. As of now, there are no laws on the books that prevent the family from putting up their giant light display.
And it's sad because you want to celebrate, but if you're causing a disturbance, you know, then you're not really being neighborly, and it's taken away from the whole spirit of everything at the same time.
Yes, we've gone to a couple of really beautiful house light displays here in Central Florida, and one is just, the traffic is insane, and people are jam-packing two streets and then down one, and it's a small residential neighborhood.
Right.
Well, do you guys remember the Osborne family
Yes.
spectacle
Yes.
of lights where they finally had to give it up and just be like, Disney, here. Now it's an entire theme park area.
I mean, it's that many lights.
We had a guy in our neighborhood that did all that, and it is annoying. It clogs up the area, and you're like, who are all these people? Get out of my yard. Like, especially this time of year with all the Amazon packages you're going to have out front. You're going to have a bunch of strangers roaming through.
So what happened to those lights?
Well, they got rid of them. They turned that area into the Star Wars area, but Disney bought them all, and then the Osborne family was part of putting it together,
Yeah.
but they don't do it anymore.
Actually, one light bulb went out.
Yeah, the whole strand. It took
It
it
used
forever.
to be that way, y'all.
We went to the last season of that, and it was amazing, but I just always wondered, like, where did all those lights go? Where do they store all that stuff?
It's got to go somewhere.
Yeah.
City of Lights, maybe Paris. I don't
Maybe.
know. All right, anyway, some say you can always go home for the holidays, but one man says that you can actually take a little one step further. He says Christmas is actually a frame of mind and a way of life. And many believe that if Christmas cheer were a competition, Frankie Christmas Bianco would be a contender for the gold medal.
at
He has
him.
once again transformed his one-bedroom apartment into a New York, into a dazzling shrine to the season. He maintains the decoration 8 months out of the year.
Wow!
And it pretty much outdid himself this year. He put up 12 Christmas trees and decorated them with 13,000 lights. Frankie says that he spends about 200 hours putting them up, and then he has to take them down in May because it's just a full-time job to do that.
Only to unpack them a couple months later and start the process all
All
over
over and
again.
over. You really have to love Christmas in order
Yeah.
to do that. And then your electric bill.
That power bill looks expensive.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm more worried about.
He's committed to Christmas because of the tattoo
Oh,
on his
It
back.
has to. If you have a tattoo, you got to
Yeah.
do that for sure. All right, we are going to have Jess from Daily Flash Latino in the kitchen to tell us a little bit about, a coquito and what it's all about this holiday season. Stick around.